Howdy, and welcome back to the Addicted Motors channel. Today we're going to check out something a little bit different, something a little bit older and not really what we mainly focus on this channel, but I think it's an incredibly special car, and it is an absolute blast to drive. So let's follow along and check it out. So this is what I believe is a 1981 Fiat Spider Abarth replica. It's not a real Abarth, but it has the period correct paint scheme. We've got the rally lights, the deleted chrome bumpers, a little lip spoiler. It has the rally wheels, all the right badging, and the upgraded sport seats. Short shifter kit, roll bar. It has the brown top, and it's a good looking car. I'd definitely classify it as a spicy meatball. It's got the 2-liter fuel injected 4-cylinder, 5-speed manual, and it's an absolute blast to drive. Now I'm gonna probably get crucified in the comments for my lack of early Fiat knowledge, but that's fine because it's really not about the overall heritage, I think, or the fine points about the historical factors of the car. It's about how it sits now and how it could be used and how it will be used for years to come. So this is a car that we have through the shop. It's going to be a sales car. It's going to be for sale. And I think the key ethos of this car is how fun it is, one, to drive, and two, to just really look at and experience. And it really brings you back to the analog manual nature of what made the formula of these small convertible sports cars so unique and so desirable and so lacking, I guess, for what we have in the normal cars. So let's do a quick walk around and we'll take it for a ride. So we're gonna go ahead and pop the hood. Notice the rubber straps. They do say Abarth on them, which is pretty cool. So we recently went through and did a nice little tune-up on the engine, replaced the timing belt. This one also has what's called, I guess, a rally cam. So it's got a little bit of a lumpy idle, and it definitely sounds great. It's a very peppy engine. This car drives very tight. It is lowered, if you can't really tell from the angles that I'm shooting from here. It feels nice and stiff. It's got a nice short throw shifter. And again, for even though this is a 1981 model, which is pretty impressive, even because the design nature goes back to the 70s, and actually some older Ferraris. And if you look at it, it just has those right lines, especially with the bumpers missing. So pretty clean under there. It's got a nice burbly tone, yeah, it's just a joy to drive. It's got pretty much everything. Like I said before, that magic formula to really make it a fun ride. These sport seats, they're a little tight. I'm 6'1", I fit in it, but they're pretty narrow. You've got your vents down there for your directional heat and whatnot. Not that you'd ever really mess around with that in inclement weather. The car does have power windows, which is interesting. You see the 2 levers right there. There's the light switch over there. But again, sparse, barren, bare bones, essentially a diluted race car, but it still has that same heritage. It's just, it's a good time. All right, gonna go ahead and fire it up. Like I said, I'm about 6'1". I do fit in here fine. It's I wouldn't say it's cramped, but it's comfortable. Let's see here. Do a little cold start. Give it a chance to warm up, and then we'll take her out. All right, gonna let it warm up for a second. Again, it's got a little bit of a lumpy idle, but it probably needs a little bit of tuning, but it disappears 100% when you start driving it. But again, it's got the, I think that with a little bit of lowering, with the rally lights and the paint scheme, this thing, it totally transforms the look. I was never really a Spider fan, or a I guess 124 fan, but I kind of, if you're talking about old British turds, I think I prefer a TR6 or an MGB. But this one, I think, just is a little, it's a little spicier, and I think it really kind of does it for me as far as in the looks department. It stands out, and it just really helps the proportions with the bumpers missing. So let's take it for a quick spin. Let's see if that exhaust note picks up on my terrible audio. Oh man. Can't really narrate the drive all that well in the convertible, but I think you get the picture here. Happy little engine. A good bit of down low torque actually. The driveline, again, it feels very tight. No kind of shakes or shimmy or power loss. It feels like it's very directly transferred to the rear end. Clutch feels good. Very short shifter. Hear that downshift there. Rev it out a little bit. Yeah. Like I said, it feels nice and tight. It doesn't feel as old as you might suspect something like this would. Third gear, down to second, and then you're back in cruising. I took it on the highway a little bit yesterday. With a fifth gear. You're running around 35, 4,000 RPM, around 65, 70, and you can definitely just cruise in it. And that really what makes these still pretty user-friendly. People like to talk about the reliability issues with older Fiats and whatnot, but you're gonna have that in any MGB, Fiat, Austin Healey, E-Type Jag. It's just really about how you maintain it, and how you drive it, and how you kind of keep it going. But I'll shut up for a second, and we'll just listen to this exhaust. People pay for a burble tune. Hear that? That's the original burble tune right there. Let's not wake everybody up, but again, plenty of linear power and an absolute blast to drive. So I had to bring it to my favorite cul-de-sac to shoot the thumbnail picture, and again, there's so many different design features in this car that you can kind of see in other cars that are kind of Pininfarina based, and it's yeah. I mean, the more you kind of drive it, and the more you familiarize yourself with it, the more it grows on you, and that's kind of any of these older cars. It's more like don't knock it till you drive it. And then all of a sudden you really understand why guys pour lots of time, money, and effort into something like this, because it really is, I wouldn't say it's an experience from a bygone era, but just not something that really, you know, initiates the same type of emotional experience. You know, you're in a cockpit, it's not safe. The brakes are kind of okay. You know, the seat belts, if you crash, they're not going to do anything. You know, it's like if your girlfriend gets in, she'll try to buckle up, and you'll be like, why? It's not going to save you, you know? But that's just it's an attitude of a bygone era that can replicate, and you have to still be able to appreciate these days while it lasts. You know, the days of the gasoline car, I mean, they're not numbered, but the future is not as bright, and the longevity of it is not as secure as it was before. So things like this, even if it's a replica, it absolutely doesn't matter. This car is going to be for sale, and it's going to hopefully go to someone who can enjoy it for what it is and just drive it, honestly. I mean, it's got 4-wheel disc brakes, got plenty of power, runs and drives great, you know, recently tuned up, and it's just an absolute hoot. You know, the little short throw transmission's great, and I don't really know what else to say about it. It kind of speaks for itself. Again, if you have the opportunity to drive stuff like this or buy stuff like this, do it. It's easy to work on. This one's fuel injected. Parts, they're not super easy to find, but parts cars are super easy to find. So, you know, if you like old Range Rovers, if you get one, you can always get another one. So that's really all I have for this review. If you're interested in this car, give me a shout. If not, happy motoring, and I'm going to continue on my drive. Have a good one.